Hello everybody, Dibz here, and today I have a live Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void gameplay video for you on Dusk Towers. Now today we have a Protoss opponent, and in my Protoss games I tend to open up 3 hatch. Now the reason why I open up 3 hatch is because not only does Protoss have trouble going against it, it's that I pretty much find that that's the only way for me to get ahead on economy versus them. Now when you go 3 hatch, it is a little bit prone to, let's say, 2 gate adepts all in, and also maybe cannon rushes. But nowadays, if you think about it, cannon rushes are not as good against 3 hatches as they are against only 1 expansion. The reason behind this is because when you go 3 hatch and the Protoss has to invest a certain amount of minerals, let's say 2 cannons and 1 pylon, which is about 400 minerals into the cannon rush, you spend about 300 minerals on your third. And if they are able to get it down, you lose only 300 minerals compared to their 400 that they took to spend on it. And actually, if you open up 3 hatch and you lose it, you are pretty much even depending on how much damage you take afterwards. But anyway, yeah, it looks like my opponent wants to pause for some certain reason. But yeah, I'm going to be going for Lean Ravager because a lot of the times Protoss nowadays like to go Immortals and Heavy Adepts. Now if you go Lean Ravager, pretty much the idea is that you want to get your Lings to surround their army, and then you want to flame them down with your Biles. And opening up 3 hatch allows you to get your early economy and get ready for that attack when it comes. Most of the time it's going to be a 2 base all in, and you can tell whether or not they're going there because of the amount of gateways that they have, and also an early robo facility. But right now I'm getting my third hatchery down. But along with the robo facility, like I said, you're going to be seeing a citadel, because the citadel is important for the type of upgrades that they need for the adepts. But at this moment, I'm going to be going for 3 hatch and getting my spawning pool down, trying to get as many drones out as fast as possible. And that is pretty much the main important part of going against Protoss nowadays, is getting a very early economy before them, because they have a ridiculous ability to expand and get their probes out as fast as possible with their chrono boost. I'm going to be getting an Overlord at 20, trying to spread my Overlords out so I can get a good scout. And once this spawning pool or this hatchery is done, I'm going to be transferring my 4 drones there to get the maximum amount of saturation. So right now, I'm just trying to get my drones up as fast as possible. Drone, and I'm going to see what he has in front of his base. So I'm going to be expecting at least 1 gate or perhaps 2. And if I have 2 gates against me, I'm going to see and try to get early Lings out as possible. Whenever I go against Protoss, I most of the time get 8 Lings to deal with the Adepts early on in case there's going to be a 2-gate Adept all in. But I see that he has a robo facility really quickly. So it looks like he might be doing some kind of Adept pressure. So I'm going to be getting these 8 Lings out, trying to defend against what's going to be coming into my base. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a Stalker because people normally don't open up Stalker in these kinds of maps. So I'm going to try to scout to his natural to see what he has. And going to be going for double queens, getting my expansion going, and trying to get my injects going as well. Going to be going for double gases so I can get my gas for speed, and then roaches afterwards so I can morph them into ravagers. Does not look like he has a lot on his natural, so I'm kind of actually pretty scared on what kind of pressure he's doing. The reason is this, because that he does not have a lot of probes. It means that his money is going somewhere else. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be going into army, and I want to make sure I have enough to defend against that. So once I get my speed going, I'm going to be trying to get as many Lings out as possible to try to defend against this Adept attack that is coming towards me. So now that I see a robo facility, it can either be Warp Adept Prism, or it can be an Immortal attack. I'm not exactly sure because I don't see a citadel in his base, or at least I haven't seen one yet. But in this case, I'm still going to be wanting to go for roaches to defend against some kind of early Adept pressure if I see it coming. I'm going to be scouting with my Lings to see what kind of tech he's going to be going for, if he's grabbing his third, or whether or not he's going to be just armying up. Got this fourth queen going. Going to get my creep spread, and that's very important because I want to get that as far out as possible, because to give myself a good advantage and get that surround on him so I can pretty much Ravager him down. And when I go Ling Ravager, as you saw, I'm going to be going for 4 gases and a 5th later on once my lair is done, so I can get as many Ravagers out as soon as possible. And it looks like he's going for a really quick third, actually. This is a weird build done by him. Most of the time, they do not expand this early. And because of the amount of gas that he had to put in his robo facility, that usually means that he's going to be going for some kind of early attack with some tech. But it looks like he expanded off of that, and because of that, I was pretty much caught off guard, and he was able to get it going. I don't have anything to attack with it, so now I'm going to try to make as many lings as possible, get my upgrades going, and try to see if I can do any damage or try to pressure it as much as possible. My layer is going to be finished. I'm going to get roach speed, because roach speed of course helps your ravagers as well, as they can get across the map as fast as possible. Going to be continuing my injects, got my gas going, going to put drones in there, and just going to keep armying up and just spreading my creep as well. Of course, creep is very important. I saw an observer in my base, so it looks like he's probably going for some type of immortal. If he was going for some type of warp prism adept all in, he would already have gone into my base and pretty much started harassing me. I can expect some type of adept immortal all in, or not an all in, but an adept immortal attack. And so in that case, I do not want to have any roaches. I just want to pretty much go full lean Ravager and attack his base and see what kind of damage I can do. I'm going to be morphing this Overlord into an Overseer to see what kind of army he has, and then spreading my creep more and farther out again. Going for upgrades again, as usual, trying to get that advantage on him, and going for my 6th gas so I can continuously make Ravagers and push them into his face. So right now, I'm going to be grabbing my 4th as well, because I see that he has his 3rd really early on, and I want to find a way to get ahead in the game. The only way to do so is to get another base on him, and as Protoss, it's going to be hard for him to expand at this point, because, well, I have my army out on the map, and if I'm able to expand and he can't, I will eventually get ahead as I can drone up that base freely while he cannot. So I'm going to be getting more drones into that gas, trying to see what kind of damage I can do here, and poke up a little bit. It looked like I remember him having a lot of, let's say, stalkers here, so I'm going to be going a little bit lean heavy here. Alright, trying to get those biles down, deal a little bit damage, or trying to take out as much army as possible as I can. Alright, looks like he's being a little bit aggressive. I did some damage to that mothership core. I was not able to get it there. If I can peck that off, it would be really, really good for me, because I can pretty much be guaranteed not to have any photon overcharges defending him if I can get that mothership core down. But it didn't look like I was able to do that. Yeah, I can tell right there. He was trying to get his pylon down, and it looks like he's trying to be very defensive. I have him on the back foot, and I'm just going to be teching up, going to be droning up, trying to pretend that I want to kill him here. But pretty much all I'm going to be doing is just doing pressure and faking that I'm going to be pushing up this ramp. But if I can get any picks off of these immortals, that would be great. But it looks like he's doing really well in microing them and pulling them back. I do not want to lose any of these Ravagers, but it's okay for me to lose a few links here and there, because they're really cheap, you know? And I don't really need them right now. My map control is really high, and I just want to keep controlling what he is doing and make sure that he does not expand off of this. But it looks like he's trying to push out, and he's being very aggressive. I have to make sure that I have enough units, so I'm going to be spamming units at this point. And get my injects going as fast as possible. And then it sounds like my cats are fighting in the background, but I can tell. But anyway, just going to try to see if I can defend against this. And looks like he's doing, yeah, I want to get the surround on him and trying to wrap him and get my flames down as fast as possible. I'm going to be pushing up so he doesn't escape. I was not able to get any flames down, but I'm going to be pushing again, trying to push as hard as I can. Flame him down, see if I can get these flames, and I did do a lot of damage onto his army right there. So it looks like his army is slowly getting smaller and smaller, and it looks like he had to recall out of there. So this is really good news for me, because now I can be offensive and also expand and get my drones going on my 4th base. But I see that he's trying to expand off of this as well, which is not going to be successful for him at all. He lost too many units, and pretty much I am pushing him onto the back foot, and he has to be defensive now. Now, I'm trying to deal as much damage here. It doesn't look like I'm able to do anything, but I know that I'm ahead. So at this point, it's just going to snowball. I'm going to get a bigger economy on him, I'm going to get better upgrades on him, and as long as I don't let him expand, I can pretty much just take this game. This game will be in the bag as long as I don't do anything crazy and lose anything, or lose my entire army. Now, as you saw, I'm going to be going for Banelings, because I feel like I sense a type, or a, I sense a tech switch that he's going to be going into more adepts. It looked like he was not going stalkers anymore, and he's adding a few more adepts, and typically that is the type of change that they go for. Yeah, look at all those adepts. It looks like he's going to be going more heavy Adept to go against my Lings. And I want to get Banelings because those are very, very useful against his Adepts. Going to be morphing Banelings as soon as possible, get Baneling speed. And I want to make sure that I don't want to lose against any kind of cheese. So I'm going to be getting a Spine and a Spore at each base and not take any damage from any DTs. And that is what I'm most fearful of at the moment, actually. I'm going to be going for a tier 3 tech, get that Adrenal glands on my Lings so they can make them twice as powerful, or 40% more powerful. And yeah, it looks like he's being very defensive. Oh, actually, never mind. I take that back. He's being very offensive here, and I did do quite a bit of damage with my Ravager shots. I want to back up, make as many Banelings as possible so I can run them into the amount of Adepts that he has. As you can see, he has so many Adepts there. And if I can get a big Baneling hit on those Adepts, the rest of his army is pretty much just going to be obliterated by the rest of my army. And it looks like I'm low on minerals here. I do not want to be too low on minerals, and I'm floating on gas, but that's okay because I want to get rid of this army as fast as possible, and when I do, I can tech switch into something more gas heavy. Alright, trying to get that surround on this with my Lings and run my Banelings into his Adepts, and I was able to get a really big Bane hit on his Adepts. Now his army is pretty much decimated at this point. Don't want to miss any injects, and it looks like he had to recall with his puny little army. And oh, okay, so that's why his army was so small. It looks like his Adepts were in a different location, or that could have been a different warp-in. But in any case, I feel like my Lings can take care of these. And as long as my Lings can take care of these, I can send the rest of my army to just run into his base and deal as much damage as possible. And he has a really good corner there, but I don't want to be distracted. I want to make sure I can deal damage with the amount of army that I have, because I know that that's a pure distraction. If I can get any damage done with these Ravagers, I can get ahead on the game. And I know that there's only four Adepts there. They're not going to really do much, and that base is pretty much almost gone anyway. But yeah, look at that. Look at all those Adepts. Oh, oh man, I was able to get a huge hit with my Ravager shots on those Adepts, and those Banelings just finishing them off. But at this point, the size of his army is non-comparable to mine, and I think this is going to be pretty much a GG at this point. He does not have any army here, and I can just keep swarming in with my units. And he's pulling his probes, and there's really not much he can do here. He has a Void Ray out, as I can see. I'm going to go Spire just for the hell of it, and there's nothing much he can do. Swarming in units, and that's going to be GG. There's nothing much he can do. So, yep, it was a good game. And I feel like that's pretty much how Zerg versus Protoss goes for me. Ling Ravager is very strong against Adept Immortal, as most of the Protoss go that nowadays. So if you guys like this live gameplay video, please hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll be doing more of these live videos versus ZVZ, ZVP, and also ZVT. In any case, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.